Hello! Today we are here to discuss Chang'An, or something like that.
Yeah.
We're not exactly sure what the pronunciation is, but it's got those letters in there somewhere. So, before we get into it though, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down there so you can follow along in all of our mispronunciations.
That's right.
Alright. So, Rob, what can you tell us about this game that I'm not going to butcher again?
So this is a new game, and so it's released as a 2026 game. Overall rank is 10,600, which seems a little high, but the individual rank is actually not too bad at 6.9. Plays in 30 to 45 minutes. It took us quite a bit longer, but it was a learning game, and we had to refer to the one cheat sheet that they gave us quite a bit, so we had to pass that around. I think it took us at least an hour, though.
Yeah, I mean, when you're learning new cards and iconography, it's always going to take a little longer.
It does play up to 4 people. It does have a solo variant to it for ages 14 and up. I think we would kind of classify it as an action selection card management type of game. It's pretty unique in that regard. I think you said kind of had a little bit of a Seven Wonders.
Well,
as far as the way the decks
like
are,
the color,
yeah, how they kind of match in that regard, but I mean,
not fully,
not really, but kind of, yeah. So, all over the place, price point wise. So it's $44.99 for retail, but I found it for $33.97 at Game Nerds. Cloak and Gamer had the next highest at $35.99, but the cheapest, I was surprised, actually, Noble Knight Games. They're usually a little bit more expensive unless you buy a used copy, but their new version's $30.
Okay. And do they have them in stock?
It said it did.
Okay.
So,
all right. But now I feel ripped off.
Yeah.
Because I picked it up at Origins and I paid the full price.
Yeah, but you're supporting the company.
Yeah. So. All right, well, what do we get in the box? So you get a bunch of different colored cards, and you get some resources that are all wooden custom shaped. There's one special set that's for one of the expansions, which we'll get into in a second, that has tokens that are screen printed, which are really nice.
That's cool.
Actually, I think there's 2 expansions because the purple one is a separate expansion. But yeah, this game, it just has tons of variety. I mean, because when you play, you're only going to play with a subset of the stacks. So if you 2 to 3 players plays with 3 stacks, a 4-player game plays with 4 of the stacks. But
out of the 6.
Out of 6. Now, granted, this one is from an expansion, so you would have to be playing with the expansion, or you're going to be using 4 out of 5 of the decks. But there's still variety there. There's 5 add-ons to this game.
That's
built
crazy.
Into the box.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You don't have to buy them.
Yeah, it's not like Kickstarter exclusive where you got some special add-ons. It's part of it.
Yeah, and if you count solo, it's 6.
Yep.
So that's great. You've got
halfway decent insert.
Yeah. Well, actually, I think the insert's really well designed because everything fits in.
Yeah.
And it supports the things that are underneath. Let me pull it out here. But yeah, it's got a plastic insert. I don't think it comes apart, no. That's the only thing. But everything is covered exactly, so you don't, like, your coins are not going to spill because they've got these boards sitting on top of them, and there's a plastic sheet that goes on top of the whole thing. And then all your pieces and cards go down in here. So,
now, we don't know if it will hold sleeve cards. Probably not, because there's a lot of cards, and
I think it will.
I don't know.
Because there's a lot of room on either side, and it didn't fill all the way to the top.
Okay, maybe. But, I mean, at the same time, the card quality is not bad. It's pretty decent thickness, and they have a linen finish to them as well. Yeah. So, I mean, quality is pretty darn good, especially for a game relatively cheap.
Yeah. And these boards are really solid.
Yeah, they're solid, and
they fold and they lay flat.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. So
yeah, so I mean, you don't have any of the warping,
right?
You know? And these do.
Or you might be incredibly lucky this time and not got a screwed up copy like you usually do.
Yeah, usually I get the bad one. But yeah, I mean, in general, I think this one is really well made from a quality perspective.
Well, Arcane Wonders usually does a pretty good job with their production.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, Foundations of Rome was amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But that was off the chart. They actually gave a free copy as one of the raffle prizes.
At Origins?
The sun-dropped version of the full shebang.
That's like $400 or $500.
I was like, I already have it, but I wouldn't mind getting the second copy.
To sell.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I didn't win anything there. But yeah, I mean, this is.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
again,
we're-
even if you have to pay the full price for 45, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good.
So I'm probably going to, from a quality perspective, I'm going to probably give this an 8.
Yeah, I think an 8's good because again, the card quality is halfway good. I mean, it's good card quality. Cardboard quality is good. Insert's cool. So yeah, I think 8's a good score for it.
All right, so moving on to theme. So, you know, you're building a, I guess, civilization based upon different.
Well, it's the city.
The
So
city.
the idea is that you're the ruler of that city is inviting people. So that's where the cards are on top, and then you build them to make a beautiful, wondrous city.
Yes.
So
It's
it's
very
layered
layered
on. Yeah, it's very layered on.
But you're building and trying to score the best combination of points. You get points for building things in rows, and you get points for building things in columns.
And even though I wasn't able to, there's definitely the ability, if you're lucky enough to draw the right cards, an engine building aspect to it too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, Adam had a
really
good
cool engine.
But I
So,
still
yeah.
came within a point of him. So, yeah, I mean, I think that different strategies could still pan out because I went all workers,
Right.
and or whatever people, and I got two victory point cards for having each one of those. So I got 12 victory points.
I didn't have a strategy, and I scored 20 less points than anybody. So that's
Yeah.
how that works.
Yeah, if you go in without a strategy, that's a strategy on itself. Strategy for losing.
And
So-
I'm good at it.
All right, so from a theme perspective, it's very thin.
It is thin,
But the art
but
is
the art
pretty.
is really good. The art on the cards is good. The art on the boards is great, and we haven't even looked through the 5 add-ons really, so
No.
we don't even know what that the card quality looks like on that as far as the artwork goes.
Yeah.
But really, it's not bad, especially again for a $45 game.
Yeah. I'm probably 6.5, 7. I'll go ahead
Yeah,
and
I think 7 would be good
give it a 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be generous.
because you get a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's more on the.
I know, but
Oh.
still, I mean, even thematically, you got so much stuff that you can add to it that even the theme may even get a little bit better when you add that other stuff on.
As far as the rulebook goes, so the rulebook is only 16 pages, but a lot of that is that add-on stuff. So to get into the game the first time, it's really only to page 8. So there's not a real cover on the game book thing. It's just goes straight into the introduction and the overview and the components, which are pictured, which is nice. Then you go into the setup. Doesn't take but 1 page. It's really quick to set this up. You can get it out in just a matter of minutes. First time you're gonna have to shuffle each individual deck that you use it, but then you're gonna shuffle the decks together,
Right.
a la smash up, and you're gonna end up playing with a mixed deck. And it doesn't matter that the backs are different colors and you can tell the difference.
Yep.
It's actually part of the gameplay. Is knowing that this could be something for me on
Right.
top. So, and then it goes into the gameplay, which really just goes over what are the different actions. There's 3 choices to make,
Yeah.
and then 2 bonus actions you can choose from. And then it goes into the different iconography as far as the card types that they're in there, and then game in scoring. That's it. That's all there is to it, really.
Right, but I do wish there was more than one cheat sheet.
Yeah, that's really the big.
But that's
It's
really
got-
the only bummer.
It's got the entire collection of all the cards pictured on it. There are duplicates that tells you how many occurrences of each card there are,
Right.
which is nice. And it tells you exactly what they do. So if you can't read the iconography, the card, it tells you. Once you get used to the iconography, you probably won't use this as much.
But still, it
yeah.
would have been nice to have at least one more, so then you can have one
Yeah.
on each side of the table.
But this definitely, they should have put more. But the good news is it's
It's a sturdy card.
sturdy cardboard.
Yeah.
Since I've seen a lot of like paper
Right.
ones. This is much nicer. So
And there's nothing stopping you from printing and laminating too. So
Yeah.
just a very minor gripe in my opinion.
So I'm going to go get us an 8.5. Probably
Okay.
would have given it a 9 if it weren't for this.
Right.
So, all right.
Sounds good.
Moving on to gameplay. So in the game, first of all, you're going to start out. You're going to choose which decks. You can choose any way you want.
But again, remember, like this one specifically is an expansion.
Yes, which
So
we messed up. the
we
first
messed
time.
up on that. So if you're not playing with the expansion stuff, then don't play with that
But
card.
this,
that
to be fair, does specifically say on the cheat sheet Silk Road deck, which we didn't read
Well,
before we did it.
Randy didn't read.
Yeah. So the Silk Road is kind of the biggest of the expansions in the pack, I would say. Other, there's event cards is another one. There's one that gives you, I think, probably in-game bonus scoring, contract type stuff. I don't know. It's just it looks like that. But there's a lot of different variety ones. But this is definitely the one that looks like it's the most fleshed out, developed one, and it has its own deck. So yeah, you're pretty much picking between those 5 if you're playing the base game. And depending on player count, as we mentioned, you're going to get 3 or 4 of those decks.
Sure.
You're going to shuffle them all together as one deck, and then each player starts the game with 4 cards. And it doesn't matter if you get different combinations of colors. You just deal out randomly. So one person may have a bunch of blues, one might have a bunch of greens. You never know. But that kind of sets your initial strategy for the game. So
Right.
just based upon the cards, you may have a nice combo based upon how they work together and interact. Typically, you're going to see more comboing within the same color of deck, though. So you're not going to see a lot of crossover. Right? At least I didn't, except for like my blue deck. I got bonus points for every worker, so it didn't matter which bucket they were in.
Yeah, and that might have been why I didn't have a great strategy, is because the cards that I had kind of were all over the place. And I really, with it being my first time, I really didn't know, all right, I'm going to, let's say, trash the purple cards and just really focus more on orange or green to try and develop a strategy. So, multiple playthroughs will reward that.
Yeah, so just let's grab 4 cards from here. One of these.
And we didn't play with the red, so we played with orange, green, and purple,
Blue.
I believe.
No,
blue. Yeah, so we didn't play with the purple or the red deck, so we don't know a whole lot about those.
Yep, I just grabbed orange, green, and purple.
Okay.
So, basically, you can grab these 4.
Well, fine.
So on your turn, you would also start with a coin and a wheat.
Yep.
So you're on your turn. You're going to decide where you want to play these. Well, I got a bunch of them that happen to have coin on them. If you can either what they call research, which is taking a card from the pile.
So you either have 3 cards face up, or you can take one that are
off the top
top of the pile.
We didn't form a pile, but if we
Right.
were playing 2 players,
These 3 would be
these 3
shuffled.
would be mixed. And then if you choose not to research, then the next option is you can play cards to the top of any one of your columns, and that's produce. So you've got a icon for each resource in the game: coin, stone, wheat, and wood on the board. So in this case, I've got a bunch of coin in my hand, so I'm going to play it. And the order matters on how you play it, because you have to play cards from top down into your build area. So the top one is going to go first, but also there is a risk, because one of the free actions somebody can take is
You can steal your
they can
bonus
steal
cards.
your cards, but they can only take the top card. It costs 1 stone to take the top card, 2 for the second, and the bottom one can't be stolen at all.
And there's a little consolation prize. If you do get a card stolen, you get a wheat.
Right. But people, that were one of the reasons the rating was 6.9. I was reading on Board Game Geek, people were complaining about that, how it's too easy to steal cards. We never stole a card in the whole game because I needed my resources too bad.
Right.
And you've got one that's protected. I mean, usually if you play 1 or 2 at once,
Yeah.
then you're safe, because
And
people
I
almost
did.
get
I
too stoned.
intentionally tried not to have 3
Yeah.
to minimize that risk until towards the end of the game, where people were pretty focused on their strategy and probably could care less what was on my board.
Right. So I didn't find it to be a problem, but some people did not like that.
Yeah, I didn't think that was a big issue either. I don't know why people would think that's a problem.
Right.
Unless they're just mean.
But because I can, I'm going to go ahead and play 3 coin right here. There's no cost to do that, but I produce now, since all these have coin on them, I get 4 coin. Now these have stone and wheat on them, but since they're in the coin column, they do not produce that. They only produce coin, but I would get 4 coin as a result of that. Now coin is useful for 2 purposes. All of the in-game scoring cards had a coin on them as an extra cost. The second thing is you can spend 2 coin to get any other resource.
Right.
So, and there are cards also that let you use resources for other purposes, like you can give them to other people and get more resources and such.
But the thing to remember that's really important is you can only have 4 of any one of the resources.
Right.
So, like he got 4 coin, that's the most coin he can hold.
Yeah. Oh, and that's actually important because you started with a coin, so I probably wouldn't have done that. I probably would have done 2.
But that also brings up another interesting element is like maybe I don't want to hold that because maybe I'll play 2 and I would get 3 coin, but then if I play a 3rd card, I would get all those coins again on a later turn. So I might want to save a spot, thinking that I'm going to need more coins again.
Yeah. So what are you doing?
I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to get me some stone because we haven't talked about building yet, but you need a plethora of resources to build. So I'm going to play 2 cards on my stone, and I would get 3 stone as a result.
All right. So in this case, I've got a wheat, but I don't have resources, but I do have lots of coin. So I could trade the coin 2 for 1 resource if I wanted to do that.
And since he has 4 coin, he could have enough to be able to build on his first row.
Yeah. And so I'm going to try to build just because I want to show what you do. So you take the top card from the stack, and you can build in any column you want. It doesn't have to be the column it's in. So I could take this card and pay 2 coin to get a wood. I got a wheat already in my possession from the start of the game. That would cover that up. And then if it's got a worker on it, which this one does, it would trigger. So in this case, if I had another wheat, I could give it to the player on my right, which I would give to Rob, but I don't have any. And then I would get 2 resources back in exchange. So that worker now, anytime I do a produce action in this column, will also trigger. It's triggered upon placement, and it's triggered upon every time you produce. So those workers are really handy to have.
They are.
So that's my turn.
Okay, so then I'm going to do something similar. Since I have 3 stone, I'm going to build the transport canal in the 2 stone section, so 1 over from where Randy built. And then what this allows me to do, it's kind of a neat element that when my the opponent to my left specifically, but it could be left, it could be right, could be both directions. When they produce a coin from the production action, like what he would have just done, I would get a coin. So my goal is that maybe I can get enough orange cards that would look at both directions potentially and be able to get stuff for not doing anything, letting them do their thing.
Right.
It did not work my first game because that's what I tried doing. And it didn't help at all. Randy specifically saw, oh, you need wheat to do stuff? I'm not going to produce wheat. And he was a jerk.
But, the thing is that is an always-on card.
Yes.
So it's not a worker. That one is just automatically always available. And then the other symbol is in-game scoring, and there's a 4th one, but it's kind of less relevant in this, which is immediate, which is the typical lightning bolt. Because the reason the other 3 are important is if you complete a row and you have at least one of the workers, the ongoing effect, and a scoring thing, you get bonus points for that row. The first row, or the top row, it's worth 3. The second row is worth 5. Bottom row is impossible to get because you
can't complete a whole row. We'll explain that in a minute.
Yeah. So basically, the game keeps going until somebody has 9 cards completed.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where, as long as there's 9 cards.
Right. At which point the game will end when you come back to the last player.
Right.
So when that happens, you're going to end up scoring, and you score points based upon the row. The top row is worth 2 points each. Middle row is worth 4, and the bottom row is worth 8. So optimally, you would want to do 1 column. You just completely leave it blank if you could do it, and you could do the other 3. But the problem is that the resources get really expensive when you get to that bottom row.
Yeah, they're all 7. So they're in different varieties of what's needed, but they all cost 7.
Right.
And since you can only hold 4 of each, you're having to produce a lot to get those, unless you have a really good engine, like I was hoping to get, where I get free stuff, which didn't work. But if you got something like that going on, it is hard to build that 3rd card.
It is. So, I mean, scoring, and then the bonus scoring is for if you didn't go that route, you can complete a row and get that 3 points bonus for the top row, or 5 points if you have those 3 different icons represented. Then there's also cards, the in-game scoring cards, and a lot of the cards have victory points right on it. Usually it's only one.
Yeah, and then the in-game scoring is all over the place. It just depends what you were lucky enough to draw and hopefully take advantage of.
Yeah, and I know the Silk Road gives you another place to build, and these don't count towards your 9. And they also give you victory points. So it's another, basically, free
scoring
building you can do that doesn't involve ending the game.
Okay.
So it's kind of like if you're playing Terraforming Mars and you're building on Venus.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Yeah.
Doesn't trigger in-game conditions.
For those who play Terraforming Mars.
Yes. Which we do a lot. All right. So I really like this as far as an engine building.
I did too.
A light engine building.
I enjoyed it.
I gotta say, I mean, this was my last purchase, I think, at Origins. It was a last minute thing. I actually went there to check out Paradise, and when I was there, I saw this, and I saw engine building, and I saw, all the different, the cards and the variety, and I'm like, this looks more like what I would want to play more than Paradise. So I ended up grabbing this one, and I didn't regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm probably at an 8 on this one.
I think so too. I think that I liked it enough that if I see it at Gen Con and I got the funds, I'll probably pick it up.
Yeah. Well, that's our thoughts on Chang'An. I know I sound horribly mispronouncing it.
And we apologize for that. But yes, it's from Arcane Wonders. Really good game. We recommend it.
Yep. Highly recommend this one.
Mm-hmm.
So go check it out if you like engine building, and this is one that you can get to the table easily, and it's over in less than an hour most times, I think. Once you've learned all the iconography, depends on player count, obviously, but I mean, we played 3 players. 4 players is not going to make it that much longer.
I don't think so.
So yeah, go check it out and check us out. Come back and see us again. So until that time, you keep saying things correctly, not like we do, and we'll keep playing. All right, bye.
Bye.